had never stayed at the Venetian Resort before, so on our last trip to Vegas, we decided to check it out and see what it was like to stay at this famous hotel on the Las Vegas Strip. In this video, we're going to share all of our pros and cons for staying at the Venetian, as well as give you several tips for when you visit here next.
First up, we have a pro, which is that there are plenty of things to do here. Of course, being a food channel, we have to mention that there are a ton of incredible restaurants to eat here without even having to leave the resort. In fact, there are way too many to even mention them all. Some of our favorite places to eat are located here on Restaurant Row, including Yardbird, Mateo's, and Cut.
If you're looking for something quick to grab, there are also multiple fast food courts here with popular options like pizza, Chinese, tacos, pastries, and even Johnny Rockets. If you enjoy celebrity chef restaurants, you'll find several here in the Venetian. Some of the most popular are Buddy Villastro's Buddy V's, which is Italian, also his Carlo's Bakery, Cut by Wolfgang Puck, Delmonico Steakhouse by Emeril Lagasse, and Thomas Keller's Bouchon, just to name a few.
There are multiple good places to grab breakfast here as well. Our favorite that we've tried so far was Zappola Cafe. Now that we've covered restaurants, let's move on to shopping. While there is a ton of shopping here in the Venetian, probably the most popular area is the unique shopping mall referred to as the Grand Canal Shops. You'll find a variety of high-end boutiques as well as Las Vegas souvenir shops and novelty stores.
Another fun thing to do here is to hang out at one of the many rooftop pools. We've been to quite a few of the Las Vegas hotel pools, and the ones here at the Venetian are some of the best on the Strip. One thing that we really liked was that there are so many separate pools here that you can really spread everyone out and they don't feel crowded at all, even in the summer months. We stayed here in June, and there were even some pools that were completely empty. There are a variety of cabanas and lounge areas that you can rent for the day, and there is also a poolside restaurant and a retail store. Another great perk about staying here is that not only do you have access to the Venetian pools, but you also have access to the Palazzo pools as well. So that gives you even more options to choose from.
In addition to the pools, there is also a very nice spa and fitness area that you have access to as an overnight guest. The Canyon Ranch Spa is not only a Forbes Travel Guide 4-star spa, but they offer over 150 different services. We didn't have time to enjoy the spa during our stay, but it appears to be very nice, and we have it on our list of things to try in the future. The fitness center was also very impressive, including a 40-foot tall rock wall, fitness classes, personal trainers, and more fitness equipment than you could ever need or use. If working out during your vacation is important to you, the fitness center here is top notch.
The last thing we'll mention in our list of things to do here is a quick rundown of the touristy things. You'll find a -5 ice experience where we enjoyed hot chocolate, multiple escape rooms, live performances, and then of course there's the famous love sign, as well as gondola rides both indoors on the Grand Canal and outdoor in the front of the Venetian. We opted to do the outdoor gondola ride instead of the indoor one because the ride itself appeared longer. The water was so clear that we even spotted a can of Campbell's soup on the bottom of the canal. While these touristy things can be fun to do, they can also be pricey.
Moving on to our next pro, let's talk about Ambiance. The Venetian is gorgeous. When it comes to Las Vegas theming, this resort knocks it out of the park, both indoors and outdoors. When you first arrive, you'll notice that the outside is decorated with ornate European architecture that's reminiscent of Venice, Italy. Moving inside, you'll find stunning chandeliers, massive marble statues, hand-painted ceilings, and overall impressive attention to detail. Perhaps one of the most beautiful areas in the Venetian is the Grand Canal that we mentioned earlier. Even the ceiling is painted to give the illusion that you are outdoors. Overall, the ambiance here is breathtaking, making this, in our opinion, one of the most beautiful resorts on the Las Vegas Strip.
Alright, now let's move on to some of the conveniences here, both the good and the bad. First up is the luggage check, which for us was both a pro and a con. The pro is that there is a luggage check here, so if you arrive before your room is ready, you can drop your luggage off and still enjoy the resort. The con is that so many people use the service that the line is usually extremely long. We did, however, find out that there is more than one luggage check you can use here, so if you come in at one of the other entrances instead of the main one, you might be able to get your luggage checked faster. Another convenient pro is that you can use mobile check-in instead of having to wait in the long check-in lines. Simply check in online and then walk up to the mobile check-in counter to receive your key. This saves a lot of time and is a tip that we highly recommend that you take advantage of.
We've covered a lot of pros already, so let's go over a few of the cons now. First up, if you do plan to leave the resort and head out into Las Vegas, the taxi lines are very long and you'll end up waiting for quite a while. We found that the taxi lines at the Palazzo next door are much shorter and it's worth the walk to go there instead. Also, the Uber pickup location is better at the Palazzo and we prefer using it over the Uber pickup location at the Venetian. Another con is that the Venetian is very crowded and busy basically at all times. If you're not a fan of crowds, then you should probably avoid this location. Something that has both a pro and a con for us is the size of this resort. The pro is that you never have to leave because there is so much to see and do here, but the con is that it's gigantic and can be confusing to navigate and get around. We've gotten turned around here more than once. By the end of our stay, we were finally feeling like we knew our way around pretty well, but it took a while.
Now let's talk about the location. A pro is that it connects to the Palazzo and shares benefits with it. If you're planning to spend time in both resorts, this is great. A con is that it is located near the end of the strip and is far away from a lot of the other popular resorts like the Bellagio, Caesar's Palace, and Paris to name a few. This means that unless you're up for a lot of walking, you'll have to take an Uber or a taxi if you plan to explore much more of the Las Vegas Strip.
Next up, let's talk about another pro, which is the rooms themselves. All of the rooms here are actually suites, which is very nice. We stayed in the Venetian Tower Double Queen Suite. At 750 square feet, the room was not only much larger than we are typically used to, but it was great to have a separate sitting room area. The first thing when you enter the room is the large bathroom, which included a separate bathtub and walk-in shower, double sinks, a nice sitting vanity area, and the toilet in its own private room. There was also a floor-length mirror, which is a nice bonus. The bedroom had 2 queen beds that we found to be very comfortable compared to a lot of hotel beds. There were 2 TVs, one in the bedroom area and one in the sunken sitting room. The sitting room also had a couch and a few sitting chairs, as well as a desk area and a table and chairs. Considering we are used to just having the beds and maybe an extra chair, this was a very welcome change and we really enjoyed it.
Another con is that the rooms here are typically not as budget friendly as some of the other resorts on the Strip. We paid $157 with taxes and fees per night, which is still on the lower end for what these rooms usually cost. If you check out their website, you can see the prices coming up and book your stay based on that if you have flexibility. Let us know down in the comments below which resort you think we should stay at during our next trip to Las Vegas, and check out this video next to see our tips for staying at the Paris Las Vegas Resort, which is another one of our favorite hotels here on the Las Vegas Strip.